Hello, welcome back to Rev Solution. In today's video, I'm looking at the Africa Twin Adventure Sport manual version. This particular bike is my own one. This is my new motorcycle. I bought it back in November 2021. It's been a couple of months delayed getting this video out to you, but hopefully things going well now, we'll be able to start getting some decent content made. So here it is in all its glory. I went for the black version, a couple of optional extras, got the crash bars around the front, also the pannier setup for the Givey monolock. But the only problem with that is because the exhaust side's got a step up in the bar, you actually have to use the Honda approved Givey box, which is about £400 per side, so that's quite an expensive option. I don't know if I'll be going down that route yet. Also got the grab rails at the rear and also the top box mount for the Givey monolock key box, which I've gone and got the Trekker one for. It's also got the adventure style windscreen, bit tall. I did cut it down about 2 to 3 inches because you were looking straight through the windscreen, but we'll get to that in the riding in a second. It's got heated grips as standard. It's got a quad lock foam mount on this one. I'll put that on myself. Again, I'll get to that in the review why I've done that. Also got spotlights. I put those on. Those spotlights, funnily enough, were £100 on Amazon, but if you go to AliExpress, they're £37 posted. They're the exact same headlights. So get yourself over to AliExpress. I'll put the link in the description below to the ones that I bought, and you're going to save yourself a fortune. I think Honda want upwards of £300 for a set of spotlights. Again, if money's no option, go for Honda. It's all integrated. These are standalone systems. If I don't turn the switch off, it's going to run the battery down. You can obviously hardwire it into a positive, but I've just gone for the quick, easy option. Now, why did I buy this bike? I bought it because the Honda CBF that I had for over a year, I didn't gel with it. It is a great bike, I'm not knocking it, but for me personally, the looks, I just wanted something a bit better. I wanted something a lot newer. That was only a 2015 model, but I wanted a nice new motorcycle. This being the Adventure Sport, I'm getting about 60 to 65 miles per gallon at 50 to 70 miles an hour on the motorways, so it is a fantastic motorcycle for fuel efficiency. Check out my reviews on my channel for the standard Honda Africa Twin. That is a brilliant motorcycle. Now, the reason I went for the manual version over the DCT was the fact that I want that full control of the clutch. I want to be able to change up when I want to change up. Don't get me wrong, the DCT version is fantastic. If you're in the market for a DCT gearbox, you are not going to fault with a Honda DCT, especially on the Africa Twin. It works really well. I just wanted that full user experience of, this is my motorcycle, I change gear when I want, and that is why basically I went for the manual version over the DCT. But please do take the DCT out for a test ride. You are going to absolutely love it. It's a hard toss up between the DCT and the manual version. I buckled and went manual. Other than that, it is basically a standard Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sport. There are more optional extras I could have put on the bike. You can get some nice little wind deflectors that just sit here. I have changed the seat. I've gone for a lower seat height. I've gone for I think it's 20mm lower. It just makes being 5'7", 30 inseam leg a lot more comfortable to sit on when you want to put your feet down. A little bit higher, you start panicking about what the surface is like. Is it sloping? Is it rising? And yeah, it's not that enjoyable. So lower seat height, and that's made this bike transform overnight. It's brilliant. What I'll do is I'll just quickly jump on it. Now, getting on the bike, I still stand up on the foot peg. It just makes getting on a lot easier. And here we go. Both feet, this is a flat surface, both feet completely on the balls of my feet. If I raise my left leg up, my foot is completely flat footed. I've got no problem putting this foot down in traffic, and likewise, put my right foot up, my left leg is completely flat footed as well. So this has made this bike unbelievably user friendly for shorter riders. You can still lower it. I think you can get a lowering kit for about 30mm. They're about £78, and that will drop the front and the back down 30mm, and that will make it even better. But for the time being, I'm comfortable where I am at 20mm lower. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on the bike now, take it for a ride, and just show you why I bought it, what my views are on the bike initially. This video was filmed 2 weeks ago, before this video you're watching now, the first part of this one video. Batteries ran out on the camera, and that was the end of that review. So yeah, sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and let me know what you think about this review. So here we go, my new motorcycle, the Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sport, brand new 2021 model. Now, if you've been watching my channel recently, you'll know back in 2021 I took the Honda Africa Twin, not the Adventure Sport model, just the normal Africa Twin, over to Wales, and I absolutely loved this bike on that ride. It was fantastic. So after a couple of months I decided to go and get my own Africa Twin, and I can tell you I am not disappointed. I really do think the Africa Twin is a brilliant motorcycle. Now, those keen-eyed of you will see that the engine management light's on. Unfortunately, that's because the exhaust actuator is stuck wide open. So Honda are onto it for me. They're getting that all sorted. They've said I can ride it with no issues. But I absolutely love the Africa Twin. It's a fantastic machine. I've given it a really good ride, obviously, to Wales, and I couldn't fault it. It was comfortable, plenty of power, and also plenty of low down power, which is what you want when you ride. When you're riding, all your usable power is down here, up to about 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 revs. You get over that in each gear, you end up really giving it some. So the Africa Twin has perfect power down low for everyday usability. I've gone for the black model. It's got the crash bars. I've had to fit my own separate spotlight system on it. It didn't come with spotlights. Honda wanted £700, I think, for a spotlight and engine bar system. I'm sorry, but I'm not sticking optional extra on there of £700 for spotlights. These cost me £37 from AliExpress, and they're bright. They're really, really good. Very simple to set up. And obviously, they're not like a Honda system where it's all integrated into the bike. I've got my switch there, and just down there, I've also got the relay. But for £37, you can't go wrong. I'll do a review on those soon. You can get them on Amazon for about £98, and they are the exact same ones as you get from AliExpress for £37 delivered, all taxes paid. It's a no-brainer. Go to AliExpress, don't go to Amazon. So it's only a short video, just running you through that. I've got the Honda Africa Twin. I'm going to be doing a lot more with this motorcycle in the coming months and years. I've had a fair few bikes in the last 3.5, 4 years of riding motorcycles, and now is the time to actually stick with one, I think. Now, the PCP plan that I've got is over 4 years. At the 4-year point, I will see if I want to keep the bike, trade it in, but we'll see how many miles I put on it. At that point, I'll make a decision. I'll probably chop it in for another bike, to be brutally honest. It's kind of a big habit of mine, getting new motorcycles, but I'm locked into this one for a good several years, so I will be keeping it, making the most of it, making some good videos. Got big plans for this bike. Now, one thing I did have to do very quickly when I bought this bike is actually cut the windscreen down. Again, those of you who are quite sharp with the eye will notice the rough, sharp edges on top of my windscreen. So as you can see here, it's a sharp cut, but it's quite smooth, and I put the wind deflector over the top of it. Now, one thing I have noticed on majority of YouTube reviews on the Africa Twin Adventure Sport is that the windscreen is too tall, and I found that exact same problem. You end up looking pretty much like this through the windscreen the whole time on the low setting, and when you bring it up to the higher setting, it's horrendous. So that had to go. It almost made riding the motorcycle horrible. I didn't enjoy it at all. But then once that was chopped down, I then had a problem of the wind buffeting really bad. Between 60 and 70 miles an hour, there was just a really loud, nauseously feeling hum, and it was horrible. I just could not get on with it. So I had to put the wind deflector on there, and since I've done that, I've not had a problem. So that's one thing I've just amended straight away, and it's made a massive difference. I've also put a quad lock on here. I did have Ultimate add-ons, and I still highly rate Ultimate add-on phone cases and their mounts. They're brilliant. They're nice and safe for your equipment. Now, there are two reasons why I put the quad lock one on. The first reason, for the ease of taking the phone on and off the motorcycle, but having to get your phone out of the case, put it into your pocket, the Ultimate add-ons was just a bit, it got a bit tiring. The other reason, and that is kind of linked into the same reason, is that this has Android and Apple CarPlay, and with that I want easy access to actually get the cable on and off of my phone without having to take it in on and off of a case. So that is another big decision maker for me. That was the reason I went for the quad lock. I'm happy with the quad lock. It fits on nicely. At the moment the phone's in the top box, but it is a very, very good lock. Obviously my phone's waterproof. If your phone isn't waterproof and you get caught out in a shower, you are going to have a bit of a problem. But then again, you can take it off nice and easy, put it in your pocket, job done. I have lowered the seat. I've got a lower seat. I was struggling slightly, being 5'7". Africa Twin is a very, very tall motorcycle. I've lowered the seat by 20mm, I believe it was, and that has made this bike so much more user friendly. So that was a good purchase. £99 off of eBay, or 130 roughly from Honda. Not a big difference. But I've also got a standard seat for sale, so if anyone wants a standard Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sport seat that has literally done 10 miles, get in contact with me and it can be yours for a fee. Right, so I'm just going to Infinity Motorcycle now, looking at a set of new motorcycle boots. So I did buy a set of RST Adventure X boots, I believe they were. They lasted a week, and yesterday we had some torrential rain and my left foot was soaked. I had textiles over the top of the boot, so no water got through the top of the boot, and my foot was like I just had a normal So as I was finishing off that last part of the video, my feet were just as wet as if I was wearing a normal pair of motorcycle boots. So I've now gone for the TCX Baja boot. The Baja boot is a fantastically good waterproof boot. I've seen it quite a bit on YouTube, so I thought I'd splash out a little bit and give it a go. I will give you a good review on what I think about that boot very, very soon, once I've given it a good run through some water. I'll let you know if it is actually waterproof. But from watching Richie Vida's videos, I think I've got a good chance at saying it is waterproof. Anyway, back to the ride. I've got some very, very horrible ground up here. I'll put it in gravel mode just to mess around with the power. I've got low power, maximum engine braking, and I'm also going to set the traction control. Now I am going to use this. I can use the actual display there, but I'm just going to, as a touch screen, because it is a touch screen, I'm going to turn it maximum traction control as well. So we've got ABS off for gravel mode, we're in gear, and there's some guy just pulled up on his nice little boat, if you can see it. Pretty sweet. Right, let's give it a go. Standing up on this bike is really, really easy once you've stood up. I mean, I'm just letting the bike take itself for a ride here. I'm on tick over. My knees are gripping the tank very well. That's another optional extra I had on this bike. Tank protectors. Let's go through this puddle. Well, there we go. Nice and easy. I'm going to take it off of gravel mode. I'm going to stick it onto Tour. Maximum power, 2/3 engine braking, and I've still left traction control on full. So I am really, really impressed with the Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sport. I really, really like this bike. I've now done 962 miles since purchase, and I am not in any way, shape or form disappointed. Now, one thing I have had a bit of an issue with is the exhaust. The little flap in the exhaust that closes and opens when the computer needs it to open and close has faulted twice. So you can see the engine management light is still on. Honda are all over it. Hopefully very soon they'll have a new exhaust in stock for me, ready to swap over with this standard one that's had a few issues. But other than that, everything else on this bike has just performed flawlessly. The heated grips burn your hands really, really well on the high setting. I've got them set on the function at the moment, so I've pushed the right finger in. There you go, heated grips. I can then use a function button on the left hand side to go through and change the level of heatness. I want the level of heatness. There we go, new word to add to the dictionary, new phrase. That's just really stupid. Anyway, the level of heat, or the heat level. Anyway, moving on. All the buttons are nice and easy to operate on the bike. A lot of people do worry, I think, with this setup here when they see the Africa Twin, but once you've had a good ride on it and it becomes your motorcycle, you know exactly where all the buttons are, you know where your indicators are. I've got my finger on the indicator there, haven't even looked away from the road. I've got my finger on the horn there, haven't even looked away from the road. So you do get very, very customized to the motorcycle once it has become yours. That TFT display, again, a lot of people do get confused with it and they're saying it's hard to understand. It really, really isn't. Give it 10-15 minutes of messing about with it and you will understand everything on that display. It is super, super simple. The hardest thing I'm finding with this display is the actual Apple CarPlay, well, Android CarPlay. I've updated it, it's got the most recent update so it can accommodate Android, Samsung cable, but I'm still struggling with it. So hopefully Honda at some point will be able to adjust that and get it all working properly, because like I said just a minute ago, it is a very, very frustrating feature to have on the motorcycle and not be able to, well, just not have access to it. It's crazy. I don't think there's any issues with Apple, but Android, yeah, it's not good. There will be a lot coming from this motorcycle, and I am going to take it through a ford. And for those of you who don't know what a ford is basically a body of water passing the road in the form of like a stream or a little river that vehicles can travel through. I'll get some cameras set up. There's one relatively local that I'll be able to power through, have a good mess about with, and see how the Africa Twin holds up in that. I did go through it I did go to it a couple of weeks ago. However, it was reading just under 3 foot deep, and I was not prepared in any way, shape or form to take the Africa Twin through that. If I had dropped it, it would have literally written the bike off. It would have been down and out. No doubt the Africa Twin could have done it, but my argument was I couldn't have done it. Well, I probably could have done, but when you look at it, you can't see under the water. You don't know what obstructions there are. There might have been some debris washed through, so I decided at that point I was staying well clear. Now I've also been looking at some off-road green lanes. There's a chap on one of the Africa Twin forums that I've been in contact with. He sent me a couple of maps, a few for Hampshire, Wiltshire, I think Sussex as well, which is perfect. So they're all nice and local. I'll be able to give them a good go and see what the Africa Twin performs like. But as a general roundup of this motorcycle, from owning it for 2 months, I absolutely love it. I cannot fault it. I genuinely cannot fault it. There are things I would change, but all day long. I think there's things anyone would change on a motorcycle, because let's face it, most motorcycles are really, really good, but they're not perfect. And I will go through what I would change on the Africa Twin in a later video. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, please give me a like, and also drop a comment in the description below. Just let me know what you think about this bike. So until next time, thank you for watching Rev Solutions. Ride safe and we'll see you soon.